Welcome to the show, good people. I'm your host with the most, Joshua Christos, and you are watching the current conversation. And thank you for watching and joining us today. Today, we got a really special show. It's going to be really good. Our topic today is kind of dealing with quality of life. Is it better to live longer or to live well? And joining me today is a very special guest. She has created her own health product line, food products. She is the founder of New Start Family Boot Camp. She has helped several people, families, individuals to improve quality of life overall. We're not just going to focus on health and wellness, if that's what you think. Her background is very vast, but today we just want to talk about the topic. Is it better to pursue living longer, or is it better to pursue living well, even if it might shorten your life? What does living well mean? What does quality of life mean to you? So we want to get those questions. We want to get that feedback. We want to make sure that you get an opportunity to join the conversation today. This is exactly what the show is about. It's not about me and my guests sharing with you. It's really about us just being here, facilitating a conversation. But the conversation is really for you, with you, about you. So we want you guys to join into the conversation. I'm going to share a link here in the comments later on in the show. In about 15, 20 minutes, we're going to allow folks to join into the conversation. You can click the link that I've just posted in the conversation. If you care to join us, you can join right into this live stream through your cell phone, tablet, or PC. Join the conversation, share your comments, feedbacks, questions, whatever it may be, or you can just share in the chat like a lot of folks do. But we're going to get the show started. Thank you guys all for joining us. I'm going to bring my guest on here shortly. So in the meantime, tell a friend, shout it out, tell anybody you know, every family member you got. Put it on Facebook, Twitter, wherever you got it. Tweet it, text it, tell a friend. The current conversation is about to begin. All right, folks, welcome to the show. Today, again, our topic is going to be, is it better to live well or to live long? My guest today, again, is very accomplished. Without further ado, let me go ahead and bring her on. Mrs. Dr. Cathy Thompson, welcome to the show.
Thank you so kindly. Thank you very much for allowing me to be a part of your awesome show. I think you're doing a great job bringing to the world at large the different topics to discuss. And I think today is certainly a great topic to dig into. And I hope everybody, you're taking quality notes so that you can go back and peruse those notes later and eat them like food every day. Yes.
Yes, indeed. So as we get started here, our topic is it better to live, well, or is it more prudent to pursue living longer? And sometimes, you would think those two things can maybe go hand in hand, but not necessarily. I mean, for an example, let's say for example, you got into a bad car accident, right? And then it caused you to just kind of be in severe pain all your life. Is it better now that you say, hey, I want to have a long life? I want to live till I'm 90 or 100 years old, even though it's painful. I mean, now you still get to experience your kids and grandkids grow up, but it's a painful life. Or is it better to say, hey, even if my life is shortened for some reason, it's better that I lived well and healthy? Or maybe that's not living well. Maybe healthy isn't living well. Maybe living well is having everything you ever wanted and buying all the things that make you happy. And you say, tomorrow's not promised, so I'm going to live it up while I can. What are your thoughts on living well or living longer? What does living well mean to you?
Well, certainly living well for me is one is I am a preacher as well. So I like to just add God on the scene for a minute. I want to give a quote from Hebrew 6 and 15 out of the Amplified Bible. And I want people to ponder what I'm getting ready to say. And then we're going to talk about that question. Be encouraged that in God's time, you will see the dreams and visions fulfilled that God has given you. Don't ever give up. So sometimes in life we start off and then dealing with the topic, is it better to live well or live a long life? We make some mistakes. We don't start off the way that we envision in life. We don't start off doing the things that will bring a healthy life. And so as a result of us being off track, it causes our family members to be off track. And so we want to live well. We want to be healthy as well, but we want to get on track. And the first thing to be healthy when it comes to living a long life is to jot down some things that you would like to go well in your life, like your dreams, your visions. Come up with a plan of action for your life. And then after you come up with a plan of action, I'm not talking about just telling it to someone. I'm talking about writing it down. When you put the pen behind things, it changes the trajectory of everything because now you're being held accountable to it because you see it in writing. When you just talk about it, it's not the same thing. So the quality of life for you may be, oh, I just want to get a job. The good quality of life for you may be, oh, you know what, I someday would like to have a company. And then you accomplish getting started. But baby, that's not it. It's not only getting started, but just realize in life that you're going to have some bumps in the road. And how you overcome the bumps in the road will determine the character of a man and his longevity. Because if you can overcome the small hurdles in life, it tends to propel you forward for the big things in life. To whom much is given, much is required. So that begins the journey for a healthier life. Because if you are good in your mind about how you want to live your life and you have a plan of action how to get there, then it makes it healthy for your journey. But if you don't know where you're going, how would you ever get there? If you don't have a plan of action that would take you down the steps that will lead you to performing those things. So it's very important that we think about having a healthier life, but we start charting the steps for going in the direction that will propel us forward to living a healthier life. Otherwise, we will be stuck. We will be on this wheel called the hamster wheel of life, going around and around and around, and we will never end up anywhere. It will just be a thought in our minds about, well, you know what? One day I'm going to be better. One day I'm going to lose that weight. Yeah. One day I'm going to lose the belly. One day I'm going to grow some longer hair. One day I'm going to finish school. One day I'm going to get a degree. Well, one day may never come to fruition. Yeah. So first thing I challenge you to do is in being healthier is to jot down some things in writing. How do you envision your life being healthier? What are the things that are challenging you right now, today, this very moment, this second, this hour, that's challenging you? What is causing you to feel that you're not where you should be, need to be, and desire to be? It starts right here. You got to think that thing first, because if you envision it, if you think about it, guess what? Whatever you envision becomes your real reality. So as a man thinketh, so is he. That's the word of the Lord. I'm giving you Bible scripture here today, okay? But so if you think about it long enough, you know, there's an old saying that people are the sum total of what they think. So what simply means that where you are in life really is about what you believe where you should be. So, give you a good example. I'm a businesswoman. I've always been an entrepreneur all my life. But there was a time in my life where I wasn't really making a whole lot of money. There was a time where I would hang out with other business leaders and they will get me to open up their platforms. They will get me to introduce them, yah yah rah rah, because I got a big mouth. Okay, you know that thing that blesses you, it also can hurt you, right? So you got to use some things wisely. That means your words. So I was helping them to make money, but I really wasn't making any money myself. So I
Yeah.
said, Lord, I want to make money one day. What can I do that will help me to have a better quality of life, take better care of my family members, pay my bills, and I have extra income, and I'm not living every day wondering where my next paycheck is coming from.
Yeah.
So then I got it. Solve a problem that everybody, or most people have, and you will never run out of income. So, very simply, should I give you an example? Let me give you an example. People got to eat, right? So
We
if
gotta
you
eat.
have good food, they're
Yeah.
always going to want to come and hook you up to get that good plate of food, right? So if you know how to do taxes, people always got to pay Uncle Sam. Sooner or later, you got to pay the piper, or you always got to do your taxes, right? So
Yeah.
you could be a CTP, a certified tax practitioner. That's one of my heads. I'm not selling my services today for that. Okay. But what I'm saying to you is solve a problem, be a problem solver, and you will always have money. People have bad looking hair days. You know what? I might need a little bit of work here too today. But the point is, people need their hair done, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
be a barber, be a hairstylist, and guess what? You will always have money on the side coming in. People like their nails done. I maybe not want to put those in front of you, but there's always a need to get your nails done. You feel me now? Are you feeling this? I'm
Absolutely. It makes
saying be
sense.
a problem solver. So come up with something, an idea that people need, they got to have, and you will always have a business thriving that where money will come in. Now that brings me to my point. Y'all see this t-shirt? Can you see it? Oh, let me see. I'm trying to show you my shirt here, you all. So this is my business.
Yep.
You can see it. GTN. So as the host of this show, I almost called him Dr. Joshua Christos, but maybe that's coming. But
Maybe that's coming.
nevertheless, he has his own show, and quite honestly, the man is talented. He can do a lot of different things. So you all might want to, those of you who are listening live, you all might want to ask him, how can you create an app for me? You all, he didn't tell you that, but he can do those things. He can get your business flowing with some money because he created and made an app for you based on your abilities, giving your talents. That man can help you. So you all might want to tap on his show to send him a link, send him just a drip of fees. Say, hey, how can you help make my business shine? Okay, he didn't pay me for that either. All right. So listen, I want to tell you that the other part of living a healthier life is really all about one is eating the right food items. One is we feed our minds with right affirmation, positive affirmation. Do you all know that if you tell yourself every single day that you'll never be nothing, you'll never do nothing, and you will never have nothing, guess what the sum total of your life would be? Absolutely nothing. You'll be broke, busted, and disgusted. So
Yeah.
first, change your words and your affirmation. When you change your words and your affirmations about your life, oh my goodness, everybody better get out the way because you're going to expose them with some good stuff.
Well, let
And
me ask you
number two,
this. Hold on. Let me ask you this before you go forward. Let me ask you this, right? So, for the folks out there that maybe they got money. I was driving with my son earlier, and there was a car next to us. He was playing a song, and the guy rapping. I guess my son said, that guy that's rapping on the song, he killed himself a couple years ago, and he overdosed on drugs, and he did it on purpose, not partying, but he did it on purpose. And I guess after we had some dialogue, it came out that the guy his music was kind of sad, depressing. He reached out on social media and said, "Listen, I'm all alone. I'm depressed. Somebody help me." And people just thought he was just doing it as an attention ploy to try to boost sales of his records with her. But he was really going through something. So he had money. He had the dream job, but really think about it, as an artist, now he couldn't make new friends because who would want to be his friend except for because of who he was and what he had, his money or whatever and his fame. And maybe he didn't fit in with the people who, he would rap with or whatever because maybe he was ironic or he was just out of place. So he just kind of felt, where do I fit in at? There's a lot of folks that are out there that say, where do I fit in at? Not that I don't want better or even try to think better, but it's just hard to get over today, right? Quality of life might not be money. It might not even be health. They might be healthy. They might have money, but it's that their self identity or the people around them. Maybe they're in a marriage and the person that's married to them says, you suck, you're this, and everything you do is wrong and everything you try to attempt is just terrible. How do you get past those things, right? How do you improve the quality of life? Or is that really, how much of effect does that have on a person?
Well, those are very powerful but realistic scenarios. One is, let's talk about in dealing with the situation where you're saying that people may have money, but they still may be unhappy. Their husband or their wife may not even like them. You can be in a marriage and not even like the person. You love them, but you don't like them. You don't like the way they do things. You don't like the way they don't, or lack of doing things. And one is, it starts with communication. People do assume that when you have money that everything is good for you. And people that are successful and have money, sometimes they are the most lonely people. They're lonely people because everyone can't fit in their circle and everyone feels like that person is unreachable or untouchable. But we have to remember that people are people with real needs, real hurts, real pain. And so one is being able to find someone that you can talk to and unload. If you can't find anybody that's a friend or someone that's been through what you're going through, then find someone, a specialist that can help you, that you can unload. A lot of times when we go things in life, I mean, I am an example of that because I just went through some real major ordeals in life and relationship and things like that. And you have to have someone you can talk to about it. Because if you just go to bed with all of this, that's how the enemy just destroys and kills people. Because you don't have anyone to talk to, you feel depressed, you're having anxiety, you don't know how to get better, you don't know how to be better. And it starts with God. But what if you don't have a relationship with the Lord? That because God is the grounding for everything and everybody, because that's my belief, that's my faith. I'm not imposing it on anybody, but it's my belief and it gives me strength. But seeking a specialist, finding someone to talk to about your problems and being transparent enough about it to be honest. The problem with relationships and people's lives is they don't feel that they can really be honest about where they are, the addictions, or whatever that may be, whether it's food, drugs, alcohol, sex, whatever. They don't feel that if they share where they really are, how they truly feel and what they're dealing with, they feel that society will judge them. And then they will truly be all alone if people really knew who he or she was. So it's being one is, do you want to be whole? Do you want to be better? Do you want to be completely healed? But the only way to get there is to admit that you have a problem. Okay, I got a problem. So now you need to talk to someone who specializes in that. Sometimes it may be a person who has the same problem that you are dealing with, but now they've overcome that situation because they have gotten healed from that situation. And they are in a position now to help you to go through that and say, hey, these are some of the things that I did that made me healthier or made me better. I'm no longer at that same point. Because in life, you go through processes and you go through baby steps. But if you don't ever admit that you have a problem, you can never, ever get help. And so you could end up dying, being in the same position, wanting help, needing help, seeking help, but being too ashamed and too afraid and worried about how you're going to be judged, how you're going to be viewed, and how you're going to be thought of, what the people going to say about you. And so now you still go into hiding and you can't be set free. So first is, one is accept where you are in life. Two is Identify the issues that you are experiencing. And three is be willing to talk to someone about it. That is the role that will start you being healthier and dealing with that situation. Otherwise, you will end up just tapping out. When
I
I say
think,
tapping out, that means you will rather die
yeah,
than to talk to somebody about getting some help.
I think what you said was really key to, like, folks are hiding, and it's not that they're intentionally hiding, but think about it. So if your refrigerator breaks, you call an electrician. If your pipe bursts, you call a plumber. This is not something I can handle. This is a problem that I have. Let me call a plumber. My arm hurts. Okay, let me go to a doctor. But a lot of us just, pain is constant. Emotional pain is constant. We've had pain since a child. When you got spankings and you got hurt, or when mommy went away to work and had to leave you with the babysitter, and that's pain. You're like, no, mommy, don't leave, and then mommy comes back and you're happy, and then the next day she drops you off again, and you still have that anxiety of leaving mommy. So as human beings, we start to just deal with things and say, hey, pain is something normal. I'll get through this, just like I did when mommy dropped me off at school, or when whatever happened. And so we try to self-medicate, I guess. So we just keep it to ourselves, think it's going to go away. We try to squash it. We try to avoid it with maybe drugs, alcohol, food, or anything that just kind of takes us and escapes us out of those situations. And so we don't really recognize it as a problem like we do when the sink breaks, and we know that needs a plumber. We can see that right there, and we know we need an expertise. But life is just life. And it's sometimes either you don't know that there's expertise for you for that, or we don't understand what that expertise would be. Is that a therapist? Is that my pastor? Is that my mom? Is that my best friend? At what point in time do I share, or how deep do I share? So I think that's some things that maybe folks need to address. But before we do, real quickly, I just want to mention to everybody, you guys can join this conversation. I've placed the link again inside the chat, so just click the link on the chat if you guys want to join into the show. This is the point of the current conversation, is to be about the group watching. Folks out there, we want to hear you engaging in the chat or joining us through your smartphone, tablet, or your PC with a webcam. You can click the link, join into the conversation right now. Share your thoughts, experiences, your feedback. You can also go to www.patreon.com/ the current conversation to become a member, support the show. You'll get a lot of extra bonuses. We're going to have different discussions that take place beyond the show. We have a lot of cool things that we do outside of just this live stream, and you can be a part of all those things by going right now to www.patreon.com/ the current conversation and joining us as a member of the show. We're going to come back with my guest, Miss Cathy, Dr. Cathy Thompson. We're talking about, is it better to live well or to live long? What does quality of life mean to you? What are some of the things you might struggle with? And what are some of the things that you might find that work for you? What's the successes you've had in your life that says this is a great quality of life? How can other people enjoy that same thing? And we want to make sure that we give everybody a chance to be heard. Our chats are blowing up, as you can see here. Miss Lambright says, that's so true, but I don't care what people say. I talk to a shrink every other week. I take care of my mental health and well-being. That's absolutely awesome. It's good that we have somebody to reach out to. I think earlier she said that she would love to do both, living her life well and long. And I agree with you. That's where I like to be as well. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back with my guest, Dr. Cathy Thompson, talking about living well or living long. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Tell everybody you know the current conversation is the show. Welcome back, folks. And I'm with my guest, Dr. Cathy Thompson. Today we're talking about, Is it better to live longer or to live well? I know a lot of folks want to do both, but sometimes both doesn't come. We're kind of talking about quality of life issues before the break. We were discussing, what is quality of life and how some folks are not having the greatest quality of life, and they're not really understanding. What do I do to make those changes? When your pipe breaks, you can call a plumber. If your electrical issues come up, you can call an electrician. But a lot of times, our emotional issues are just things we're normally so used to dealing with that we don't know we need help or who that help might be. And so that's kind of where we left off at. And if you want to touch more on that, Dr. Cathy Thompson, go ahead and share some more with our guests. If you have any questions, folks, send them to us in the comments, or you can actually join us live on the show through your phone, smartphone, tablet, or PC by clicking the link in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Over to you, Dr. Cathy Thompson. What are your thoughts going forward?
Yes, I just want to say to the listening audience that with this COVID situation going on, there have been so many reports of abuse between husband and wife. So many reports of abuse between. I mean, where parents are beating children more and wounding, and children are enduring broken limbs, and all kinds of things are going on. And that lets me know that people really live in the household where they're not really talking and they're not communicating. And so before you could just run out of the house, you go do your thing, your wife would go one way, the children will go off to school, and the husband will go and do his thing. And even if you're not married, people are living together. I'm not an advocate of that. I want you to get married and be blessed and live forever and be happy, right? But we know that in life that things are not always in a certain order. Okay. And so what that implies is that in families, let's just break down a husband and a wife in the relationship. The man's responsibility, and that's the way we were raised growing up, is that he has a burden to take care of his family by not any means necessary, by right holistic means, by doing the right thing, going to work, or having his own business, to take care of the children that come into that relationship through their consummation. And so a lot of pressure is put on the man. And sometimes there are no men in the family. Sometimes women have to bear the burden of being a single parent. But the problem that came up that most people were not aware of during this COVID situation is that people don't really get along in families.
Yeah.
That's a sad commentary, which means you're in a household, but you don't like each other. You're in a household, you don't really talk. You eat, you sleep, you go to the bathroom, and you go and do your own thing. But this COVID situation, I think the Lord set us up real good to really tap back in on the love language that we lost. A lot of
Yeah,
us
there's so many.
lost the love and care for each other. Like what happened to how was your day? See, these are little teeny simple things that makes a relationship whole and makes you mentally in a better place. See, it's the little teeny foxes that the old folks used to say that spoils the vines, right? So these little things is necessary for the parents to talk to their children and for the husband and the wife to talk. Talk about what's going on. Talk about our finances. Talk about how we can come together and be healthier. Talk about what's broken in our life that make us not like each other as much. What went
Or
wrong?
maybe,
What went south of the border? Because you could
yeah,
be
maybe it's
so
not so much
focused
that they that
and
they
lose the big picture.
yeah, maybe they just never really, they thought they knew each other, but after 10 years, you've grown. You've grown through your life experiences, through your job experiences, through the friendships that you've had at your job or wherever else. Those things are going to influence a person. It's kind of like, mixing sand in water or food coloring in some water. It's eventually going to start to change color when you blend with other folks in society. I actually heard something on the radio the other day. They said there was some kind of scientific study that they found that during this quarantine session in COVID, that your scent, your natural scent is changing based on the people you're around. You're going to start smelling more like the people you're quarantined with. And I thought, well, that's funny, but it's because, in that space, when we're around each other, we're going to influence each other, even to the point of our scent. So 10 years pass and everything that you've been doing, most of our lives are spent away from home. Like you said, the husband's at work 8, 9, 10 hours a day. The wife's at work. She comes home, she's dealing with the kids. Maybe husband goes off to watch TV and have a beer and go to sleep, and their time together is just minutes or maybe a few hours. So the influence in their life isn't their mate, it's all these things around them, and they're changing like all the other things around them, and they're not changing to be more like their mate. And now, like you said, COVID comes along and says, hey, you guys got to be together and stay together. That's very challenging for folks. In the beginning, I heard a lot of people getting divorces. Um, just really quickly, our topic today is it better to live well or to live long? We've got some comments coming in. One, Mr. Calvin Waters says it depends. What is well, right? What is quality of life? I guess that's a great question. He said, I would rather live godly, that is born again, than to live long and not be born again. I say amen to that. Rather I live long or short, I'd rather live a godly life and have God know me and me know God than to live long and seemingly have everything that I could hope or imagine. So thank you for that comment, Mr. Waters. My guest today is Miss Dr. Cathy Thompson, and our topic is it better to live long or to live well? We want you folks to join in. You can join in through the comments. You can join in by visiting us, clicking the link, and joining right in here with your smartphones or your tablets or your PC. I'm going to post the link again here over in the chats if you guys want to join us. We're taking your questions, your feedback, and we want to hear your thoughts. I have a question for you really quickly. So let me show you something. Let me see if I can get this to come up. I came across this some time ago, and I thought this was really cool. And let me see if this is going to populate. This here is a website. It's called Worldometers, and basically what that does is it's listing all these different things like the current world population, births this year. These are real totals, as you can see. They're moving right now. Deaths this year, 36 million deaths this year. Today, 137,000 people have died today. Net population growth, 50 million people this year, and today 190,000 people were born. So at least we're getting more people coming than are going, but this is real totals. People are dying every day. People are being born every day. Look at all this money being spent. I think this is a crazy site. www.worldometers.info. But the reason I bring this up is this, with let's take this right here, 137,000, almost 138 deaths today. I don't know of anybody personally who has died today or yesterday or the day before that or so on and forth. And so a lot of times we find that things that are out of sight are out of mind. And I think folks are doing the same thing with this COVID thing. And I think this might have, let me see if I click that coronavirus update. 21,680,000 or 68,000 cases. 21,068,000 cases. 752 people that are no longer here since this virus took hold of the earth. That's a lot of folks. And because we don't see it ourselves, we think, well, it's not existent. It's not going to happen to me, but it's happening. People are really dying. And I've seen folks, I just came from South Carolina, and some people were in the stores, no mask, out in public, no mask, hanging out at bars, sitting outside in the patios, drinking beers, hanging out, socializing, and just having a good old time and not thinking about this virus that's around, that's destroying people's quality of life. There was a Twitter post from a friend of mine, and she was talking about how she got COVID back in March, and she has been suffering ever since March. Chronic pain, diarrhea, can't sleep, things happening. 1 minute she thinks she can't breathe, next minute she's breathing fine, feeling like she's drowning. Out of nowhere, she's fine, she's watching TV. Instantly, she feels like she's drowning. The virus is crazy, it's unpredictable, sporadic, and so many people just don't care. My cousin today, I was texting her, and she said, our guest that was supposed to be here today, he actually has COVID. He couldn't make it because he has COVID. So we subbed in Dr. Cathy Thompson. Thank you so much for joining us on short notice. But it's really happening to folks out there. They're really getting this thing, and it's changing people's quality of life. And right now, it doesn't seem like there's a cure. It doesn't seemingly go away for everybody. It lasts months and months. It could last years and years. It could do damage to your body that continues on, even if they find a cure or an anti-serum. Really, all they're talking about as far as the cure is building up antibodies so that you don't get it if you haven't got it. But if you've already got it, it's kind of, you're out of luck. So in this day and age, let's say you get COVID and it lasts you the rest of your life. With this question, is it better to live long, even with COVID or something like that, or is it better to live well, even if it's only for the next 6 months of your life? If you knew you had 6 months to live, how well would you live, right? Let's think about those different things and those perspectives. We want to hear your input, so please join us on the show with your questions and comments. We see Ms. Lemray said the Orange Man in the Oval Office says it's going to go away after the election. I don't believe everything that guy says, but we'll see how it goes after the election, huh? What are your thoughts on COVID and how it's affecting folks' quality of life and what's happening, Dr. Thompson?
But I just want to say, I just want to touch. I do read a lot, and I've been listening to they have a group of doctors who actually figured out some cures for COVID. Now, we don't have access to everything that they're talking about. And we know that the president is taking one I can't think of the proper name for it, but the normal things that people have access to every day, 24/7, they can get zinc tablets. It is said that if you take one zinc, ZINC tablet every single day, it will help build up your immune system, and it helps to ward off and fight this COVID situation. One African doctor said she had 300 patients. Some of them are in their 90s. They were treated with zinc and zaziframat, and people are taking baby aspirins, and none of them died. So what you may not have access to everything that that's being given out to everyone right now, but you certainly can go to the stores and buy some zinc tablets, and you can buy some baby aspirins or aspirins, and the dosage amount was said, and you can click in on Facebook and tap in and see if you can find this feed that shows normal natural cures by this quorum of doctors who came up with the actual discoveries after treating and triaging a lot of patients. And it is zinc tablets. Take it if you can't get anything else but zinc tablets and baby aspirins or aspirin. They said take 200 milligrams. Then take that. That will help ward off some of this COVID stuff. And they said that there are 5 different streams of the COVID virus or symptoms, meaning you can have a headache, you can have a sore throat, you can have a stomach ache, your chest could be hurting you, you can start aching all over in your bones and feel like you have the flu bug. They said these are some of the symptoms for the COVID virus. And so we all may have had one of the symptoms from the COVID virus, but if you start taking the natural things that these doctors actually said works, they take them and it will help improve it. But I want to talk about, we all want to live long. I mean, we all fighting, we're doing all this stuff because we want to have a long life, but not just have a long life, but we want to have quality of life.
Yeah.
And I challenge everyone today to look at where you are right now and decide, do you feel that your life is healthy? Are you living a quality life? Are you happy, first of all? And what is wrong? Or do you even know what's wrong? I'm telling you to write it down. And I want you to write down on one side of the paper all of the positive things in life that you are doing and the moment that you are happy. Now, on the other side of the sheet of paper, I want you to write down all the things that makes you unhappy. What are you doing in life that makes you unhappy, makes you feel like you'd rather have a short life? What are you doing in life that doesn't bring you joy and fulfillment? And look at that list and then start to tap into other people who have things that can bring you to a point of being whole or being better or being, being in a better position and place mentally than where you are right now. So those are some of the things that I challenge everyone to do. And if you would do these things, I'm telling you, I promise you, life will start getting better. And I want to give everybody a challenge today. I want you to stand up every single day. Do it for 21 consecutive days. Dave Cooper, one of the major prolific speakers, he said if you do something or anything for 21 consecutive days, it becomes a habit. So I want you all who are struggling with saying, I don't want to live long, I don't like my life. I want you for 21 consecutive days, stand up in the mirror and say, I love myself. You are the best version of you're the best version of yourself. And say, you know what? I am amazing. And what makes me amazing today is because one is I love myself. And two is my family around me. I'm going to tell everybody in the family that I love them. Just just start doing the little positive things, and you'll be surprised and amazed at how it starts to change the trajectory of your life, your mind, because it starts here first. And then number two, oh yeah, it's homework time. I want you to write it down and find someone, seriously, that can start pushing you forward concerning the issues that you're dealing with. It is time out for us living a subpar life because we feel like we have to, because we can't do any better. The only way we can get better is to make ourselves better. No one's going to do it for you. So you have to do the homework. You have to put the time in. Just like if you're a baby, we feed you. But if you're grown, you just need some help. And now it's time to start pushing yourself forward, pull yourself up by your own bootstrap with the help of specialties, special people that are around you, and that can help push you forward. Back to you, host.
So, I tell you what, there's a scripture that says that I want to say two of them. One, it says that as a man thinketh, so is he. As you think you are, so it shall be. So if you think you're incapable or not possible to do something, or if you think you're too tired or too lazy or whatever it is, it's going to be that way. But the second one is this: it says, "Money answereth all things." But I want to add something to that, because I know one thing that money doesn't answer, and that's love. Money can't buy you love. Money can't fix love. If you're out of love, I don't care how much money you have, it's not going to change things. You married to somebody and they cheat on you 15 times. Love is broken. Love is gone. And no matter if they won the lottery the next day, you're not going to all of a sudden love them. You might stick around because you want to change your quality of life. But how much quality of life are you really going to have being around somebody who doesn't treat you well, doesn't respect you, makes you feel terrible? And so, really, for me, I think quality of life is that I have peace in my life, that I have people around me that do care about me, that they do support me, that they speak positively to me. And I think when you look at those things, it doesn't matter how much money you have. If I was in a homeless camp, but I had good friends and I look forward to seeing them every day. As a matter of fact, I've done a lot of things. We used to shoot a lot of documentaries in the homeless camps. We'd go in there and spend days with the homeless. And we found that a lot of times they were happy. They've been homeless for 20 years, 30 years on the street, willingly, voluntarily, they've been homeless. And they had these tents that were just humongous tents, almost, not like a circus tent, but really huge tents. And they had a fire pit in the middle, a real bed, like a real life bed with the frame and everything in there, like almost like a house. And it was like, if you want all these things, why not get a house? Why are you still in a tent? And it was because they said, this is where my home is. This is where my friends are. This is my community. And so I think that if you have people around you who love you, support you, who will share in your interests, who will share you like to share your day to day with, that really sets the standard of quality of life. And then beyond that, you might want to say, hey, let's take trips, or let's have items in our home, or the size of my house, or all these other things. But those things are secondary. Me and my family have been shuffled around a lot. God has seen fit to let us travel around the country. We've lived in several states, and we've had to make new friends and meet new people and all these things. And in that whole course of all those things, what made that place a home was the people we connected with. Usually it was through a church, pastor or whatever, but it was the people we connected with. And along that whole time, what we had that never changed was each other. And so if you got good people in your life, if you got folks around you that's going to stick with you, stand by you through the hard times, that's going to help talk you through, that's what's important. That's what for me, which establishes a quality of life. And so if you're not in that position, if the people around you are negative, if they're breaking you down, if they're just not helping you at all, maybe it's time to reevaluate some things in your life. And I'm not saying get rid of them. I'm saying maybe it's time to have conversations with them that says, hey, what's got you in this way that they can be transformed. Everybody's worth saving. Everybody's worth redemption. Everybody's worth helping out. And the fact that all they are negative, all these things, it might not be because of you. It might just be the brokenness that's inside of them. Because maybe somebody along the way talked to them that way. Maybe somebody along the way, a parent or somebody treated them poorly, and they don't know any better way but to respond that way. And so, think about those things before you just write people off, but really kind of consider what's around you, what's surrounding you. I want to go to the comments really quickly. I just see that some folks are saying stress will kill you. Home is where the heart is. I agree. Uh, Wherever your heart is, you can make that home. Ms. Ray says, I have done that and I do love myself. I actually looked in the mirror and told myself for a whole month. That's awesome. That's it right there. You got to love yourself first before you can love others. If you're not going to treat yourself well, how can you expect other people to treat you well, right? If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And the first thing you should stand for is stand up for yourself. What are your thoughts on that, Dr. Thompson?
It's so true that, people tend to ride off of your shoulders, meaning if you think highly of yourself, guess what? It's contagious. Others will think highly of you. But if you're down on yourself, if you are negative, and if you're, because what happens is when you're negative, you know what happens? It sort of breeds negativism. If you are a negative person, you would tend to attract what you are, what you believe, and what you think. You will attract those type of people. That's why I'm saying start telling yourself different things. And really and truly, I love what the person in the comments said that they did it for 30 days. I'm telling you, just say, I am wonderful. I'm amazing. I'm beautiful. I'm wonderfully designed by God. I love me. I love the people around me. I have money coming to me. I attract money like a money magnet. I have friends. I have great things in life. And if you want to be a business person, you know what? I'm a published author. Whatever that thing is that you want to happen in your life, begin to speak it. And guess what? It will begin to be your reality. And that in itself will give you longer life because you'll be happier. They say that if you laugh a lot, it adds years to your life. So be found laughing. Look at comedy things. Some people don't need nobody to help them laugh. I think those people live a long time. They are comical all by themselves, and you're talking to them, and you're trying to be serious. Then out of nowhere, they'll say something, and you just roll all over the floor with your feet up. I mean, you are laughing. Oh my gosh. You want to be around people who make you laugh, who make you
Yes.
happy, who make you smile. Nobody wants to be around anybody who is tearing them down, pulling them down. You like you just said, being negative, telling you you're no good. But guess what? If you find a problem with someone, you know what? You can tell them in such a way that it doesn't tear them down. Do you want an example of something that really, really hurts people? Okay, oops, okay. How do you tell someone that they have their breath is not really fresh? Okay,
I would
you
offer
could
them
just
some
say,
gum. Hey,
you
you
know
want some
what?
gum? Yeah.
You yeah, you was like, you know what? Oh, you know what? I have dry mouth right now. Let me get a piece of gum. Would you like to have a piece? You know, and they still may say no, and they may not get it. And so you may have to say, you know what, girl, I don't know what you've been eating today, but you might have a little bit of dry mouth or something. That still might offend them, right? It's not a real good way other than just ask them, would you like a piece of gum? But if it's your close friend, it's okay. They want you to tell them, girl, you've been eating some garlic today or something. But you want to be careful how you say things to people so you don't wound them and tear them down because they could have, going back to the health thing because that's my lane. They could actually have some indigestive issues. They could have something wrong inside of their stomach area that lends itself to this. Okay, so from a health point of view, holistic, I mean, halitosis come from gum disease, not brushing your teeth, and you could have something going on in your esophagus area and your stomach area. So probiotics will help with that.
Mm.
Okay, so I'm just going medical on you for a few minutes. And
Go
so
ahead.
eating the right things, and the zinc, here we go again. The zinc tablet helps out will allow that as well. Okay, the zinc inside your gut area will help out with having uh, breath issues. Okay, so it's going to help heal your stomach area and give you fresher breath. And so be found being positive.
Yeah, I want to talk about that too really quickly, because health does happen to be very much a part of your quality of life. My great friend Rob House says healthy is the new wealthy. What good is being rich if you're sick, or if you're dying? So you want to be healthy so you can enjoy whatever life that you have as long as possible. And what I've come to just recently embrace My wife was always about taking vitamins and things, and I said, oh, I don't need any vitamins. I eat well or whatever. We try to eat organic and those things. But lately, I've gotten on supplements and things like that. And as I'm reading about it, I realize so many things that not necessarily that we don't have, but that are just a benefit. So, for example, you can say, if it's hot, when I was young, we didn't have AC. We had fans in the window, and that got you by. And it was great when the nights got cool, and you can put the fan in the window, and you can finally go to sleep. But during the day, man, it suffered. But there's also this thing called AC. Now, what would you rather have? The air conditioner that keeps your temperature at a certain comfortable level, or a fan in the window? Or you can live life without a fan at all and just be hot, right? There's these different levels of quality. And with the supplements, they're kind of like having AC. They add things that you could do for your body that's going to make your body better. Now, do you need them? Well, your body can still function, but they're going to make these improvements. You're not going to kill you not to have them. So, learning about these supplements, I found there's things that help you with really weird stuff you wouldn't think about. Like, for example, you can get chlorophyll drops. This was one thing that really kind of stood out to me. Chlorophyll drops. And how it breaks down is this: you eat you eat a cow or a chicken, and that cow or chicken eats the corn or the grass, right? Which takes the energy from the sun. So the sun is really what's giving everything on this planet life, not only through the light, through the warmth, but it's giving us energy directly. Sun can power your home, solar powers, and all these other things. Sun creates the wind. The sun runs everything. I think that's so amazing. I just want to say this really quickly. When you read in the scripture, it says that I've made evidence of myself through everything that's created. It says that all things are created by Jesus, and in Jesus, all things are held together. And they also calls Jesus the sun, and they also calls Jesus the light of the world. All these things that kind of try to show you towards science when we see it, and we call this object in the sky the sun that does all these things. Everything that you see on this planet was created by a sun in the sky that went through its life cycle. As it died, it produced different levels, starting with hydrogen and helium and the lighter gases, going all the way down to producing iron and these heavier elements at its last stages of life. And then it explodes and it shoots all those things across the galaxy and all those elements across. And your body has all those things in them, and they wouldn't exist on this planet unless a sun died. Are you listening to me? You wouldn't have life unless a son died. And we look at Jesus who died for us, that gives us eternal life. It's so crazy how science is just proving what scripture says. But anyway, so the sun gives us all life today, producing wind, which causes, and it gives us warmth. And when the warmth hits the cool air, it causes moisturization, which causes rain. All those things exist, which you need air and water to live. But then it feeds the plants. The plants produce chlorophyll, and then that goes into your body eating through a plant. You eat leaves or lettuce, kale, or whatever, or you eat a cow that ate the grass, and the energy is still transferred to you. The purity of that though is in the chlorophyll. That's what turns the grass green. And I'm going to ask a silly question for everybody watching. If you want to just maybe ask this to somebody later, but you say, why is grass green? And you say, oh, it's chlorophyll. That's the scientific answer. But really, it's really simpler than that. What color is the sky? It's blue. What color is the sun? It's yellow. What color is the yellow and blue make? They make green. It's really simple. And God knew that strategically when he put it together. So we take this green chlorophyll, we take the drops. It's the concentration of all that energy brought in from the sun. So when you get it into your body, it's like skipping the process of eating the flower, the dead plant that, mind you, you had to kill the kale or kill the lettuce. You had to cut it off and let it, stop. Now it's no longer producing life. It's just there. Or the cow, but you're getting it fresh and raw. And when it gets into your body, it affects so many things. It affects your nerves, blood, your blood cells, brain activity, all these things. It touches your organs. Like it's like the powerful super drug. You don't want to take too much, but listen to me. If you read up on anything, read up on chlorophyll, what it does in your body. There's also another one, hydraulic something acid. I can't remember what it is, but this stuff is great for your skin. It keeps you looking young. I should have been taking this 25 years ago. I look 50. I'm not 50 at all. But anyways, if I'd have took this stuff years ago, I'm taking it now so I can try to preserve myself. And my guest, Dr. Cathy Thompson, you guys would never guess her age. And I'm not going to tell you her age, but she she looks great. She knows about these things, and friends my age are hitting on her and everything. And she's actually, I ain't gonna say no more than that. Yeah, but so
that's
she's older than me.
funny.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Now, I just
guys,
want to add on to that,
supplements do so
you
many
know,
things for your body, and
yes,
just changing the way you live and changing the way you process things can change your life.
I just want to add on to that for those people who have hit 50, and that's me. I've hit, well, I passed, I saluted 50. Hello, see you later. So, so the thing is, folic acid helps with the sagging of skin and your youthfulness. Vitamin D, you need that for your bones. You need that for your mental health. I'm telling you, vitamin D, most people need about 5,000 milligrams of that, and one capsule or one tablet is generally not enough. And most of us, a lot of times, are deficient with vitamin D. The sun is so critical. And Mr. Crystals was just talking about that. If you don't get the sun, you won't feel 100%. Your bones will be brittle and all of that. So you need the sun. So sometimes it's okay to go outside and walk because you need the sun. All right. Or if you don't want to walk,
Yeah.
then go stick your face in the the window, and enjoy the sun. But there's so many different things. Q10 for your heart, you know, it's just so many different things uh, that we need that will help improve, your health. And zinc, listen up, you all, especially the men, zinc tablets helps with performance issues for a man. Can you believe that? Yes, it helps them with their prostate and it helps women with their sexual drives too. Okay. So instead of you guys going out there having all these surgical procedures, go pop you a zinc tablet. It's going to help you with COVID as well. Right. So you want, and if you're trying to lose weight, you want to get some trace minerals inside of your body. The trace minerals will help improve your overall well-being, and it helps to eliminate fat belly gut issues. All right. So that's really important. I can keep going on about the different things that you want to take that will improve your health. But I do want to say this to everyone. During this COVID time frame where we've been, a lot of us in the homes, just staying inside the house, I
Mm-hmm.
want to tell you that a lot of us just been eating junk and eating anything, and now you're realizing that your stomach is just so big and you don't know what's wrong. Well, a lot of people have leaky guts. Probiotics. You need to be on a probiotic to help you with leaky gut situation. It helps you with your digestive issues. It helps you to digest your food items better. It helps you with reestablishing the good bacteria that's needed in your gut lining. Okay, probiotics, and also if you're eating things, and I want to tell you, you all may not like this, but if you for 30 to 45 days or maybe 60 days to make your gut healthier by eliminating gluten from your food items, your stomach will get better. Your stomach will go flatter. For what am I talking about? The white things in your diet, bread. The sticky part of the bread, that's the gluten inside of it that makes it sticky. If you eliminate sticky gluten breads, that's going to help you. Stop eating the rice. I'm going to give you a challenge. Eat cauliflower instead of rice. Fry it in a pan with some salted butter. Put some garlic powder on it without putting any water in it. It tastes just like rice. You don't believe me? Try it.
It's good.
Now that
Yeah.
helps to eliminate the glutens from your diet. Also, eliminate the pasta. I'm saying not forever, just until your gut heals, and then slowly add these things back into your diet. Why? Because if you have a leaky gut, you're sluggish, you're not feeling great, your stomach is bloated. Leaky gut means a small amount of poop is seeping into your system and then poisoning your system. So now you're wondering why you can't get rid of your gut because you have leaky gut. So eliminate these things from your diet. Potatoes, white potatoes. Yes, all these things. Not only does it cause you to possibly go into the lane where you may be pre-diabetic or diabetic, it also lends itself to leaky gut. So eliminate these things from your diet that's causing leaky guts. And I'm gonna just say breads, sugar. Eliminate the sugars from your diet. Use a sugar substitute like stevia, monk, honey, nectar. Sugar causes inflammation, arthritis in your joints. Okay? Get rid of the pasta, the rice. Are y'all getting this? You want something sweet? Eat some applesauce for 45 days. Watch what happens to your belly. Watch what happens to your stomach. You're gonna look in the mirror and you say, "Woo, baby, sexy is back. That's me." Oh, well, maybe not, but you're looking better. So I just want to encourage you to take care of your health, live a long life, be well, look in the mirror and say, I want to live long. I want to be positive, and just start telling yourself something positive every single day for 21 days and watch your life change. Watch improvement take place. Write things down that you want to accomplish and cross them off your list one thing at a time and watch improvement of your life surround you. Watch your life become happier. You'll be a better version of people who want to be around you. You'll begin to draw people. You'll be a magnet of success, joy, happiness. And voila, you're like, oh boy, I have so many friends because you are in a better place. So now your friends are coming around you again. Try it.
Well, thank you so much for being here today with us, folks. Thank you guys for watching. We're just about out of time. Before we go, I'm going to let my guests just kind of give a little one last tip. So just we'll be right back after this quick second. And you guys don't go anywhere. We're going to close the show out, but we'll be right back. Thanks. So again, folks, thank you guys for watching us. And this has been Joshua Christos. This is the Current Conversation. My guest today was Dr. Cathy Thompson. We talked a lot about some great things about quality of life, how to live better. We talked about a lot of supplements and things that you can do for your life. I did come up with the one that I was talking about earlier, which is hyaluronic acid. That's great for your skin, keep you young. But listen, you guys can share this video out. Even if they didn't get to watch it live, they can watch it again on the repeat. Make sure you take a second out to subscribe to the channel so that when we go live, you guys are ready to go there. We're doing this every Thursday night at 8 o'clock. Now, once we get rolling, we may add more shows, more times a week. But right now, we're just doing it once a week, Thursday at 8 o'clock. So we want to get folks out there to know what we're doing. We want to get them subscribed to the channel. You can watch us on Facebook, Twitch, Periscope, and YouTube. And again, 8 o'clock Eastern time for everybody out there watching. Again, today's topic was quality of life. I'm going to let my guest host, Dr. Cathy Thompson, send us off with one last final message. Thank you all for watching. Thank you guys for joining us. We definitely appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you guys next week. Oh, and by the way, next week, my guest is going to be a #1 best-selling author. She has her own publishing company, and everyone on her publishing company has become #1 best-selling authors. And she's going to give us some tips that she has gotten from Oprah herself. And it's going to be a great show. So make sure you guys join us next week, 8 o'clock Eastern time. But go ahead, Dr. Cathy Thompson, send us out with your final message.
Yes, I am so grateful to be here today with you in your homes, your cars, and wherever you may be. I want to offer one thing before I close out and about my business, Great Tasting Naturals, GreatTastingNaturals.com. I want to offer a 10% discount to everyone when you call our GTN line on 301-648-6174 and say, I watched the show, I heard you on the show, and I will give you a discount 10% with a free detox week. All right. So you definitely want to take advantage of this because it's going to change your life and help you to have a better quality of life. But remember, it starts in your mind. And I want to say to you, I started with this and I want to close with this because I want you to envision your life being better. I want you to think about your life being improved. I want you to know that you are the best version of you and the best is yet to come. So I started with Hebrews 6:15, and I want to close it out with this because I want you to remember the word. Be encouraged. That's for each one of you. Be encouraged that in God's time, you will see the dreams and visions fulfilled that God has given you. Don't ever give up. God bless you. Stay tuned for next Thursday session because it's going to be phenomenal and you are the
Yes.
best version of you. And you know what? We do really love you. So stay connected.
Thank you all for
This is
watching.
Dr.
This has been
Cathy
the current
Thompson
conversation. We'll see you next
live.
week.